readers have their favorite genre that they go to, or several genres that they go to. They have their favorite tropes that they read on occasion or every time, or when they're in a mood. There's certain mood they reach for a certain genre or a certain trope. Or they have that trope that they absolutely won't read, or there's certain genre they can't read. Um, and that's what we'll be discussing today. What tropes are your favorites? Which tropes do you absolutely despise or don't like? And I hope you enjoy this episode. We have wonderful guests, and we had an absolute ball recording. So enjoy. Is there a genre or a trope that you would like to write that you haven't?
I've thought about friends to lovers, because sometimes when that's done really nice, it just, it's just nice.
It's
so
sweet.
I've thought about that. Yeah.
I've written
But
friends to lovers several times.
With my fated mates in my world, it just doesn't work. I mean, yeah, they can be friends, but they know right away, so but who knows? I'll dive into contemporary someday or something.
So contemporary and friends to lovers from TD. What about you guys?
Well, I wrote a short story that was very tantalizing to my writer's brain, because you get to kind of make up some rules, plus get to do a lot of research. And it's the mythological, paranormal, or mythological fantasy kind of feel to it in a contemporary setting. I really enjoyed that. I find I really enjoy mashing things together and just like, here you go. This is what you're getting. But I loved writing sort of that reincarnated gods feeling, and how plopping them into a modern setting makes things pretty fucking interesting, honestly. But you give them like the abilities that aren't congruent with the modern world, and it kind of makes it fun to play on that. So I think I want to write a couple of full-length novels that way, and maybe do a duet or maybe a trilogy or something, but that would be fun. I would enjoy that.
Okay. All right.
How about you, Dawn? What do you want to write?
Well,
Daddy romance.
Daddy romance.
Probably not up her list.
Daddy has a lot of virgins. Good.
Yeah.
Throw some bully in there.
All the things.
Yeah, smash it all together.
But like in a bully academy way.
Right.
I have multiple. Like I outlined a 5-book series that is, depending on how it writes, it's either paranormal women's fiction or PNR. And it is about women who get their witchy powers when they start going through perimenopause.
Yes. Yes.
Because
wow.
this is how it started, okay? Because this is a funny story, and I think you'll laugh at it. I was at the Walgreens one day, and in my hand, I have a box full of medicine that says how to stave off perimenopausal hot flashes. Now, I'm paraphrasing, that's not what it said, but it's very bold letters. And I'm waiting in line, as one does, behind one other dude bro who keeps turning around and trying to talk to me. And I'm like, not today, motherfucker. Yep, just eyes front. And up at the counter, there's an older man. He's a seasoned citizen. I'm like, do you not see this box? And there's a seasoned citizen up at the front at the counter who doesn't understand apps, and so they're trying to explain to him. And I'm like, I just need to get my don't kill anybody medicine right now. If you could just get out of the way. And so this dude bro keeps turning around and keeps trying to talk to me, and I'm just in my head, I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if like the first symptom that you got for perimenopause is like the power you get as a witch. And so for me, it's hot flashes. So like, what's the witchy power? Well, it'd be fireballs. And I would totally lob a fucking fireball.
You'd be walking around with singed asses everywhere.
I would just singe the shit out of that guy. I was like, that's happening. And so I entertained myself for 20 minutes. And in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. And then what if it's a little girl? So then I pick up my phone and I'm like, you know what? I gotta write this down. And the dude bro left me alone. But I had like a 5 book series.
You know what I think would be interesting? All of us perimenopausal authors writing a story in that world.
That would be awesome.
I've got like, that world's fun. That world's fun.
She's like, my world's full. Y'all need to meet different world.
I spent, and it's got a lot of Florida mythology in it too. So like, there's a skunk ape. I think I told you there's Bigfoot in Florida is a skunk ape. Like that's the mythology of that creature. And then like mermaids. So Christopher Columbus thought he saw mermaids, but what he really saw, what they think he saw, were manatees.
Manatees.
Yeah, as you know, Kyla knows, and you see the pictures and the stuff in the sketches and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm making this a whole thing. So that is the thing. The other thing I would like to write is a lit RPG series, and I also have that outlined. Which is, if you don't know what lit RPG is, it is a role-playing game set in in book form. And one of my favorite, absolute, oh my God, I wish he would write faster authors on this is Matt Dinniman with Dungeon Crawler Carl. And it is so freaking hilarious. I mean, y'all, if you have not read this book, please, for the love of all that is holy, go read book 1, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Aliens take over Earth and humans are sent into a dungeon and they have to fight through all the levels. And this guy, Carl, is like wearing boxer shorts, a leather jacket, Crocs, and like has a cat. Like it's the funniest thing. And it is so inappropriate. It's so funny. And there's like 7 or 8 books in this series. And then I got Susan hooked on it because I was like, wouldn't shut up about it. I was like, girl, you need to read this book so that we can talk about it. And then she just got her husband hooked and he started reading it. He's like, what the hell am I reading? I was like, it's better than Ice. We got him hooked on Ice Planet Barbarians that way too, by the way. So I'm like, go read Dungeon Crawler Carl and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because it's like, it brings in a lot of world building and paranormal and gamification and epic fantasy and sci-fi, and it's just sort of all in one. And I didn't even realize this was missing in my life until I started reading this book. I'm like, I could write this. Now, I say that, and all of the authors on the top 100 are men. There are women who write it, but they're all men, and they have a little bit of a club.
It's time to break that up for you, Dawn.
I'm like, that's okay. I will just write with initials. I'll just be Dr. Dugle, and then you guys can figure it out the fuck later.
TS and TD over here. Understand what you're talking about.
Or I'll just go as Don Dugle. That's what I'll do. And I mean, people write that down on my Starbucks cup all the time. I might as well use it as an author book.
Yeah, if I wrote anything other than romance, it would be Kyla Orinick. Of course, the last name gives me away, but only if you've already read the other, right?
But it's that whole thing too. Like you've got readers, you get readers who are loyal to you. They're not necessarily loyal to the genre, and they will read everything that you've read or you've written. And I've got 1 or 2 readers that have read all my news articles too. I was like, dude, they're not that interesting. And they're like, well, you wrote them and they're good stories. I was like, okay. Sure. So I feel like having that sort of tie to the Oronick, you take those readers with you. And then the ones who don't know about the romance, it's like, well, it's not like, oh, here's a romance author trying to write sci-fi. Like, what the hell? And it's like, I'm actually pretty good at that too, mofo. So you calm down. So yeah. Tara, what
Yeah,
would
I
you do?
felt.
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I wish I could write mystery.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
JC introduced me to mystery. I didn't think I would like mystery until I read the Rockfish series. And then I was like, I love mystery. And I started reading other mysteries. And like, I can come up with a good mystery in my head. Here's the problem. See, I have no patience. Like, I can't even do a cover reveal. Okay, because I can't keep secrets.
Same.
I'm like,
Same.
he did it. Like, I can't keep secrets. So as much as I would like to write a mystery, I probably never will.
But you write, you've got suspense in your books, which is mystery adjacent. I mean, it's not that much different. It really isn't.
My mystery book would be like 500 words long. Because then I will tell you who did it.
Like, he did it.
That guy did it. Or you could do like Benjamin Stevenson, who did like everybody in my family has killed somebody, and then you're like, you think every character did it until the very end, and you're like, oh, no. What?
Do you know why? Do you know why I don't plot my books?
Because that's boring.
Because my characters don't tell me what's going to happen until it happens. Until I'm writing it.
Same.
Because
I plot too, and my characters take off and do their own shit, and I'm just like, what the hell? That's not the plan.
Because my characters are like, if we tell her ahead of time,
She won't do this.
she'll give it away.
Oh, yeah.
She'll give it away, and it'll ruin the story. So we're just not going to tell her. But when you're writing a mystery, you have to drop hints. So you have to know ahead.
You can always go back.
Yeah, but then I'm going to tell everybody. See, when you're marketing, you can't tell. When you're marketing a mystery, you can't give the mystery away, right?
You can't be like, hey, BookTok fam, I need you guys to tell me, what do you think of this guy as the killer?
Exactly.
Yes.
And I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
I mean, you could totally.
What
like,
did you
fake
think
them
of
out.
so and so being the guy that did it? Like, I am that author.
Okay, hear me out. Matt Dinneman, the guy I was talking about Lit RPG with Dungeon Carl, he has a Patreon, and on his Patreon, he's a pantster. Okay, he does not plot any of these books, which blew me away. I was like, what the absolute hell? He lets the readers decide what's happening. So he will say, okay, what should Carl do next? This or that. And they vote on it. You could totally do that. It's like a choose your own adventure book, and even you don't get to choose.
He's a D&D player. He plays D&D. I mean, basically, I think it would be a lot of fun. Have you seen Roll20?
No.
Okay.
Down.
ROLL20. Just look it up. They're doing a live action role playing D&D game, and they are hilarious. It is some of the funniest crap I've ever seen in my life.
I do roll my D&D dice to make decisions.
Hold on a second.
For the
Hold
series.
on a second.
That Elizabeth gave
I
me
roll my D&D dice as well to make decisions.
Hey,
or I'll ask somebody, hey, pick a number 1 to 20.
Elizabeth gave them to
little
me.
children playing Ding
And
Dong
they're
Ditch.
Howler Green.
I'm like, I see you. I see you.
They're Howler Green, and they have the Howler type font for the numbers. So when somebody doesn't like the decision I made, and I rolled the dice to make that decision, I blame it on Elizabeth. She gave me the dice.
I don't even know where I don't play D&D. I play Pathfinder, which is the D&D. It's the other version. And all my dice are in the other room. I have a really nice big chunky D20. It's like this big. It's thick.
This big?
This big.
This big.
How big?
Size of a watermelon. But I never use the dice. I always use the electronic version on the, because we have there's a digital interface and you can roll the dice on the computer program. And I'm like, I like it.
We did a lot of Zoom D&D, and it's too loud. I mean, you roll the dice, and it takes 5 minutes for the reverb that causes all the crackle in the audio during the Zoom meeting to die down, and then the next person rolls, and you're like,
oh God.
So yeah, we used a little digital version. I love playing D&D, but that would be fun to do. I mean, I love that idea actually, to let people choose the next adventure.
And
Cool.
And I think it made I think it makes the book so much better because it's that reader involvement, and it's that
engagement.
Even the writer doesn't, the engagement, and for like like I plot things, but I get kind of bored too. So when the characters go off the rails, I'm like, well, I don't hate it, but like, what? Now I've got to go back and fix that plot hole you just made for me. But I mean, okay, all right, all right, Daddy, I'll do it. Just kidding.
What is a genre or trope or both that you absolutely will not do no matter what the characters say?
Bully.
So we're pretty much uniform on this?
Genre or trope?
Genre is horror. I can't do it. I can't do it. I will freak myself out. I'll be out, have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, end up with an onion situation because I'm scared to walk through the dark.
Same. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I could say never. I mean, definitely, I don't read bully. I don't want to write a bully romance. I'm not really, I mean, technically, if you read John Truby wrote this great book called Anatomy of Genres, and he talks about all the genres of storytelling. And he talked about how horror is actually a lot of religious texts. Like if you look at the beats of that story, so horror, I think Wizard of Oz could be considered a little bit of horror too.
I think that's a stretch, but okay.
No, it's like myth and horror. It's like a combo of things.
Yeah, but I still think that's a stretch.
Interesting. But I probably, I don't know that I would write a academy romance from the student perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
But from the teacher perspective, now that's a whole other story. Wouldn't say no to that.
All right. Is there anything going on? I know that Miss Dawn Dugle, gotta say her name because I didn't say it earlier. The Emmy nominated best-selling author Dawn Dugle has a book coming out.
I do. Yes.
All's Fair in Love and Warrants.
Yes. Yes. A couple is trying a couple, this Pleasure Point book number 5, and a couple is trying to avoid getting arrested, so they get married and end up at a circus-themed marriage boot camp. Hilarity ensues, and it's spicy. And so yeah, marriage of convenience, forced proximity. It's got the male main character is a lawyer who has been pining after this woman who's a journalist on Pleasure Point. He's been pining after her for 4 books, so I'm going to finally put him out of his misery. And he tries to pick her up. Like, he's very well spoken in court, but when he's around this woman, he's totally tongue tied, and he keeps coming up with all these bad lawyer pickup lines. And oh my God, so don't drink anything while reading. And yeah, forced proximity, forced marriage of convenience, couple over 40, spice, romantic comedy, and two things happen in this book. Number one, Wisdom Ward shows up. So she is a fan favorite from A Hot Flash of Homicide in the Flamingo Cove series, and she shows up as a helper. And we finally get the origin story of the person behind the original nudist colony at Pleasure Point. So a lot happens in this book.
Cool.
And you still have time to read books 1 through 4 if you haven't read them yet. So yeah.
Nice.
I'll leave you with that.
What about you, Kyla? You got anything you want to hype up?
Yes. So this is not nearly as much fun. Thanks, Dawn. I get to follow that. So I finally, after 2 years of hard work and fighting my own body because it hates me and it's a dick, I have finally finished Lily and Raph, which is book 4 in the Bunker Boys NC series.
Yay!
Yay! Yes, I'm currently in the editing stages, but the release date is May 5th.
Nice.
So,
Yay.
yes, close.
I can't wait.
It would be my dad's 99th birthday. And I thought, since he was the one that always encouraged me and said I was a great storyteller, and I, of course, was like, yeah, sure, Dad. And finally got it from people who actually wrote books that maybe I ought to write books and started writing books. I figured it would be a good way to honor him to do that on his birthday. So that's coming out. Lily is an absolute hot mess of...
Love it already.
She's just a hot mess. She thinks she's something she isn't. She thinks she pushes everyone away because it's protecting her, but she still doesn't have those people. You push them away or you walk away. Either way, you don't have them. And she's just a hot mess. She's a Marine turned cop, and she's also a dominatrix.
You had me in hot mess, but I'm doubling in now.
She's like, yes, and
again, I'm writing it in my cursive old lady writing.
Yeah, but she's like the most sought after dominatrix at Second Circle, which is a sex club. It's a private sex club, and because she never allows any kind of actual physical exchange between herself and her submissives, but she is precise in her punishments, which they really enjoy. She's something else. And of course, Raph, the love interest in this, is the perfect foil for her hard shell, her toughness, her misconception of herself. And he kind of just very zen, laid back, would be probably the most laid back main male character I've ever written. Just very chill, like, you know what? I'm just going to stand here until you get out of your own way. It's all right. I got you.
I'll stand here while you whip those guys. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, he stands in line for that, but that's beside the point. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about that one. And then in October, I have the second book in the Royal Bastards NC series coming out. That's Scorching Faith. That one's a sort of a betrayal redemption kind of book. They knew each other when they were kids. He went off to the military, came back, and she doesn't even recognize him because when he left, he was a scrawny kid. When he came back, he was not. So that one's kind of a fun, a little bit of a mistaken identity kind of thing, a tiny touch of that. But he finally admits to her who he is, and it's going to be pretty fun. That series has a lot of action. It's a little shorter. I took a page out of Don Dugle's book, and shortened down the novels a little bit so that they're a page turner, kind of quick read. I love this woman. Dawn has been, my sort of, hey, have you seen Dawn Dougal this, or have you talked to her? Because you need to go talk to her. Are you feeling some kind of way? She can help you. Okay. So Dawn is the one I send people to all the time because she absolutely kept me from shooting myself in the foot when I first started writing. And
no, you were well on your own way. It was just a matter of letting you sort it out yourself, which sometimes that's all we need is somebody to listen to us and say, what was that last part you said again? Oh, you want to do this over? Oh, okay. Well, maybe you should just do that. You already had the answer. You already had the answer. But thank you.
But I mean, you let me know it's okay to think a little outside the box, which I think in this industry is really difficult because you have everyone everywhere telling you exactly how to think.
When people ask me what my advice is for authors, that are just entering the space, I give two bits of advice. Number one is take every bit of advice with a grain of salt. And number two is find your crew. But I say take every bit of advice with a grain of salt because just because something works for somebody else does not mean it's going to work for you. Every author's process is different. Every author's path is different.
Mm-hmm.
We all
100%.
have things that work for us, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. I was happy to help Kyla with Word when she needed help with Word, but other people, Word is not the place for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're the formatting queen. You were like, no, it's just a setting. And I'm like, I've been doing this shit manually for freaking months. And she's telling me all these easy things. I'm like,
and I can format in Word. I can format in Atticus. I can do both. So when she was like, I've been trying to do this and I cannot do this, I'm like, okay. We're going to sit down on a Discord call and I'm going to walk you through this step by step. It's fine. I got you. It's fine. But there are some people where it's like, just send me the file. No. Just send me the file. You shouldn't be doing this. No. But everybody's process is different, okay? Just everybody's process is different. Some people should not be editing or formatting their own stuff. It's just not their bag.
Again.
Okay? It's just not their thing. It's not their thing.
On some people.
There are people out there that can format for you.
Mm-hmm.
Pay them to do it.
Out there and do a lot of things for you, yeah.
Pay them to do it. Don't take on that stress. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can, and you have the time, and you have the ability to figure it out, okay, do it yourself. But you don't have to.
I think it works really well when you learn. Like I had to write an essay. I'm actually getting a business degree. I'm working on getting a business degree, and I had to write an essay for college. I'm like, wow, okay, so now we are. And I wrote this essay about like, why now? Why are you doing this thing? And I was like, I know that I can learn anything. I know that I can invest my time and learn something. Now, that said, doesn't mean I want to do everything, but learning how to do some of these things like formatting and editing and making book covers and book trailers and videos and all the things, you learn what you are good at, you learn what you like to do, what you don't like to do. Mm-hmm. And when you hire somebody to do it for you, like you are now able to say like, hey,
they're good,
that cover, that cover doesn't work. Here's why. You forgot the lighthouse number on my book number. Like, get back there and put that in there. You better stick that lighthouse in there, man. And everybody, like, we all missed it, and it was I think it was JC Fuller caught it. She was like, "Where's the lighthouse number?" I was like, "Well, son of a biscuit." And so, I think learning all those things, whether you do them or not, makes you a much stronger author and makes your author business a lot better. And then you learn what you want to spend your time on. And here's the thing, you get to a point where I heard this the other day, when you learn something new, that we have a tendency as overachievers to get mad at ourselves for what we didn't know. And it's like, how could you have possibly known that? And why are you getting mad at yourself for not knowing what you don't know what you don't know. So now you know better. Now you're going to do it better, but don't beat yourself up for not knowing. You wouldn't beat a baby up. I mean, some people would, and that's a whole different thing. And don't do that. That's a bad
another
thing.
podcast.
But that's a different podcast. But like when a baby is learning to walk and they fall down, like, you're super thrilled to pieces. They got 3 steps in. Like, we're cheering from all over the place. So why not give yourself the same grace? I don't know.
That's exactly why this group, and when I say this group, I mean the Hype Girl Squad, the Romance Riot, our little
tribe,
our little world that our extended world that we're all a part of, our area of booktok. I'm very proud of us that we don't gatekeep the information.
Nope. I love that about us.
When we see a new author coming in and they have questions, we're like, here,
fresh meat. Just kidding. That's not what we say.
That's totally what we say.
We start handing out.
Hey, girl, this is nice. Come here. Here's your salt.
Come on, baby girl, get in here. Let's tell you stuff.
We start handing out links and resources, and you know what I mean, like, instantly.
I also want to say this, and this is something I'm very passionate about, and this is why I think it's important to talk about things and to share the knowledge, because when you look at being an author, actually anything in life, if you take a creative approach to it, you're gonna do so well with you're gonna succeed. You're gonna have abundance. It's gonna grow. But if you take a competitive look at things, that's when shit goes sideways. And there are some authors out there that are so competitive. It's like, well, like, there's a zero-sum game. Like, if you have a success, then somehow that takes away from me. And I'm like, no, seriously, writers cannot write as fast as readers read. We need all the authors to write all the books so that I can take a week off every once in a while, or go to the bathroom from time to time. It's crazy. And by the way, not everybody's going to love my books. Right. Not everybody wants to read about women over 40.
Next time somebody's like, "Where's the next Howlers book?" I'm going to be like, Have you read this one yet?
Have you read T.D. Edwards' Panther? Have you seen the Panthers? Do you know about that? Have you seen the not read book cover? But she says it's not read, but isn't it? I know.
What about you, TD? What do you have to hype up?
Oh, I am doing my very first audiobook. So I just finished listening to all the parts. So we are trying to get that together. And sometime next month, it will be out. So it's just kind of crazy.
I love how they release that. They're like, sometime in the next 10 days. You have no idea when it comes out.
You don't. Yeah.
Oh, Audible.
Once you put it in there, they're like, okay, hurry up, sit and wait. So sometime next month. So and it's pretty cool because next month is the 3-year anniversary for finding her panther. So I didn't even plan it that way, but it just happened.
Out. Tell people you did. We'll lie for you.
I love it when the readers do that. I love it when the readers come to me and they're like, "I seen what you did there," and I'm like,
"You're like, I hoped you would. What? Why don't you tell me about what you thought? I
What?
and
Tell
they're
me
like,
about it.
I seen when you did this, and then you did this, and then you tied it all up at the end when you did this, and I'm like,
Totally.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
so
that's like
planned.
you
one
caught
of my
that?
most
Oh, man.
loyal readers. Like she's on all my lives with me and stuff. Kaya Wessel, and she was the one that reminded me that next month was the 3-year anniversary.
She cracks me up. She's always
And
like,
I'm like, cool, is it?
I would
That's
call
cool.
myself her best
Um,
friend, but I don't want to upset TS. And I'm like, you can call yourself her best friend. I'm not going to get upset if you call yourself her best friend. It's not going to make me mad. We can both
we
be
need
her
more
best
of the
friends.
friends. Yeah.
So I think, you know what I would say about all of us, your vibe invites your tribe into your life, right? So the vibe, we're all girls, right? We're all girls. And that's a unique situation because in a lot of larger groups of people where there are a lot of women, there's a tendency toward competitiveness that naturally
Yes.
falls. It's what groups do. But we don't really have that.
Uh-uh.
So it doesn't come into play often at all in our group because our vibe invites a tribe that all feels like we can't gatekeep. We want to help you out. You got
We're
something in
all
your
best
teeth,
friends.
sweetheart. Let's right there.
Yeah.
You got a little something,
Yeah.
We're good with all of
Mhm.
that because we're there to protect, right? We're there to
Yeah.
protect our friends and help them the best that we can. And I'm the natural mom in almost every group anyway, so I'm always giving advice, like
Yeah.
Tara said, I can't help it. Miss Tara said, she says the advice is good. No, it's not. It's just ramblings of a very
It's
old, very
important advice.
experienced.
It's
Whatever.
the
It's good
woman
advice.
who has 0 F's left to give, and you're just like, what? I don't want to keep quiet anymore, so I'm gonna just say something. And if you don't
Right,
like it, like
right.
go pound sand, go touch grass. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
that's really, I just really, because I mean, it's not that it's bad advice. It's sound advice. I give a lot of, and it is therapy to hear. Don't give a shit what anybody thinks about you. Do what
No,
makes you happy, sweetheart, because
you
you're
say
living
the
your
same
life.
things that I'm saying. You just say it a lot calmer than I say it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
the amount
inside I
of
feel
times
so much rage. No, I'm
the
just
the
kidding.
amount of times that people actually, we think that people are thinking about us and or what they're saying, and it's like, yeah, the amount of the very little that people actually think about you, you'd be so surprised. So like, stop living your life for what people might think.
Yeah.
I saw people yesterday at that thing that I haven't seen in years, and some people gave me the stink eye, and I was like, I knew them back when I was drinking. I might have done some stupid shit. I've made my amends. Like,
That was drunk
odds are
Dawn.
pretty good, actually.
That
I've done a lot of
that was
stupid
drunk
shit.
Dawn.
That
Why
was
you blaming
drunk
me for
Dawn,
drunk Dawn?
and it's like, and I've tried to make my amends, but I know that it doesn't matter. It's some people are just never going to give you and they weren't ever going to give you a chance to begin with. And oh, by the way, your disapproval and my social anxiety led to the drinking in the first place. So it's a cycle. It's a whole
Cycle.
thing. And it's
Mhm.
like, you know what? And then you just realize, oh yeah, you don't pay my bills. You're not, that's pretty much it. You don't pay my bills, so fuck
Yeah.
you. Like, yeah. And it's like, I don't have to get your approval. I don't have to get your um, sign off on what I'm doing, because it doesn't matter what I do or how many knots I tie myself into. You're not going to approve anyway. So I might as well just do what I want,
Right.
Yeah.
within reason, within the law of the land, whatever that is. So, yeah, I think that, Kyla, I think that when you go out and you have the courage to just say and speak your truth, I think we need more people to do that. And I do think, Tara, what you were saying about there being so many women that, or maybe, I'm sorry, Kyla, maybe you said it too, is that there's always that queen bee and they want to keep women down. And it's like, we do not need men to keep us down because we do a pretty good job of doing it to ourselves. So,
Straight facts.
like, if we maybe banded together and just helped one other woman, what would happen if you just helped one other woman today or this week, or and
I decided
what could we do?
this year I was starting a vodcast, and so far it's been all women on my podcast. Not saying I won't have men on, because we have some lovely friends that are of the
We
male
Yes.
persuasion.
Again, no hate to men, but
No hate to
some
men.
men. Some men.
But I like my women, and I like hyping my women. So
let's focus on the I like that. Focus on the positive. I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna hype our women. Listen, we have our men that we have let into the club. You know, like Brian Scala and Robert Collins, and there are a few, but they've earned their elevation. They are friends.
Proven their value and their worth. Yes, as human beings.
Yeah.
Regardless of gender.
Yeah. It's just
supportive.
They are
the rising boat, the rising tide raises all boats. I really enjoy that.
They are allies, for sure. So, normally these are about 45 minutes long. We've been taping for 1 hour and 54 minutes.
2 hours. Yep.
Yep.
I love you,
I'm surprised my family has not asked for supper.
So
I've had two children come ring on my doorbell, and I'm not sure if that's a game or something is on fire. So I'm just like,
I could sit here with you ladies all night long. However, I don't think people are going to watch a 6-hour podcast of us just chit-chatting. So we should probably wrap this up. Why don't each of us tell the audience where they could find you, and we will give it a go. So, who wants to go first?
I am on TikTok. I don't know, all the things, really. I don't.
Your website will be. Yeah, your website will be in the description. But so you're on all the social medias, right?
All the, pretty much all of them. Some of them not as much as others, but yeah. But I'm there. And my 11th book will be coming out soon.
What color is the cover?
So, I don't know. It's gorgeous, though. It's gorgeous.
You should write mysteries. Seriously, I'm hanging on the balance every freaking time. I'm like vested, and then I'm like, well,
it is.
When?
Yeah, it's pretty gorgeous. So that'll be cover reveal here pretty soon.
I had to try. It was worth a shot.
I expect it, so I would be disappointed if we didn't take that shot.
What about you, Kyla?
You can find me on social medias, of course, but my books are available on Amazon and in Kindle, KU. I'm probably never going to leave that, regardless of how hateful they are to us, because it's my security blanket. But yeah, you can find me mostly on TikTok, but and I want to just say something really quickly. If you and I are friends on any social media platform, and I don't care which one it is, and you want something boosted, send it to me and I'll repost it. Give me a poke and say, hey, I got something new, and I'll repost it. It's not that I'm all that powerful, but if we do that with our friends, it helps. It really does. And I think sometimes people need that reminder. Hey, it's okay. We haven't talked in a few weeks. That's all right. Just send me a damn video and go, hey, can you do your thing? Hey, yeah, I will. Because that's what we should be doing. That's also part of that support and uplift. If you see something lagging, I'll definitely help. Yeah, but if you really want something to do well, we can all help. So don't forget to do that with folks. And yeah, new books coming out this year too. I had a 2-year lull. Well, I can't say that. I had a 1.5 year lull and released Forged in Shadows last year, but now this year I'm releasing 2, and I think I'm knucking futz for it. But that's okay. It's all good. I got it.
I gotta write that one down too. Damn
it. If I don't, I'll forget it, and then I'll be like, "What was that?"
I can't wait to read it, Kyla. I'm so excited for you.
Thanks.
What about you, Dawn?
Okay. The best way to find me is dawndugle.com. That's my website. I've got all my social media links there. You can sign up for my newsletter because that's it, no matter what platform is in, out, sold, not sold, banned, or whatever. I have a direct line to tell you a funny story every Friday and free books. And when my books are coming out, All's Fair in Love and Warrants comes out March 28th. Had to think about what month am I in. March 28th. It's book 5 in the Pleasure Point series, and it is available on Kindle Unlimited and Amazon. And I believe the paperback is actually live now. So, and I have Patreon too. Like, there's a lot of, I got all the things, but that's why I say go to dawndugle.com, and it's a clearinghouse there, and you can see what's going on.
Nice. And I have this going on, and I have the we still have this Vengeance for Valentine's is still available, and the paperback is full color. So the proceeds go to the American Heart Association. 12 stories. Who Did This to You, Vengeance, all romance, several different subgenres. So yeah, that is still available on the Zon. All of my books are coming out of KU because I no longer get page reads like I used to, and I'm tired of being beholden to billionaires. So mine are coming out of KU as the 90-day cycles end. I'm not renewing them. And yeah, so I just posted on my TikTok a video with the picture on when those dates are. So you can see that there. I'm going to post it on my website as well. And what else? Oh, I'm going to have a Kickstarter that will release soon. Probably by the time this comes out, it will already be out. For special edition Axel's Ride hardcovers, book boxes. And the proceeds from that will go for Trip's Bitch audiobook, which will be PJ Freeborn and Paige doing a duet. So that's what I got going on. And I have a Patreon. So all the links for all the things will be in the description, as well as the websites for all these lovely ladies, and all their things. So thank you for watching. We love you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Amazing. And I know I was going to have a million outtakes, so there will be bloopers, I imagine. Because Don Dugle is here.
You're welcome.
Ladies.
Yeah.
I can't control this magic. This is what I'm bringing to every podcast. Call me.
Oh, the finger guns.
So thank you for joining us. Have a good night.
Bye.